Politico has a hilarious story here about the Democratic Party and Bernie Sanders. They report, as Bernie Sanders gears up for the next phase of his political revolution, Senate Democratic candidates are clamoring for his support in swing states, where his anti-trade populist message could give Democrats a key political edge come November. They continue, it's not difficult to see where Sanders' progressive populist message could take hold. Ohio and Pennsylvania, two Rust Belt states where Democratic candidates are hammering their Republican opponents with Sanders-esque anti-trade rhetoric. All right, so some of you might be listening to this and go, what's the big deal, Kyle? It's just, why wouldn't you want Bernie Sanders' help, and why wouldn't you want his help in swing states? That seems to make a lot of sense. My response to you is, yes, of course it makes sense, but this is the same Democratic Party that just argued in the primary season that Bernie Sanders is a weak general election candidate, and now they come along and admit when they need him, oh, no, he's great, he's a tremendous general election candidate, he's the best one there is, what are you talking about? We want him specifically for swing states. This contradicts everything they said in the primary season. The Democratic establishment said, well, I mean, come on now. You can't go with Bernie Sanders. Why would you go with Bernie Sanders when Hillary Clinton is the way to go? Because Hillary Clinton is a stronger general election candidate, and she gets more moderates, and everybody knows those moderates are what's needed to win in the general election, and obviously she'd do better in the swing states. Now they're like, truth comes out because we need him. We need you in swing states, Bernie. We need you in swing states. Did you know Bernie Sanders was up against Donald Trump in a general election in national polls anywhere from 9 percentage points to 15 percentage points, depending on which poll you look at. In the average, he absolutely destroyed him. As of right now, Hillary's about 5 percentage points on average up on Donald Trump. And this is the best she's been in a long time. And meanwhile, you cut Bernie Sanders' average in half, and he's at 5 percentage points above Trump. So Bernie always had a gigantic edge over Trump. And we pointed that out. We were the ones pointing at the polls going, are you guys fucking stupid? Are you dense? You're saying Hillary's a general election candidate. That's based on nothing. That is a myth. That is an establishment-created myth. She's establishment. She's the bigger name in terms of celebrity status, so in a general, obviously she's going to do better. No, her unfavorables are through the fucking roof. His are great. His unfavorables are super low. Everybody who's going to vote for Hillary would vote for Bernie too, and then plus you get the benefit of all the Bernie voters who aren't going to vote for fucking Hillary. He gets independents really excited. He gets millennials excited. His message goes over best in the swing states. They fucking blew it, man. They blew it. You had a shoe-in election. I would have called the election the second the primaries were over if it was Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump. Now with Hillary Clinton, I told you guys a million times, the yo-yo effect is going to continue, and it's going to be a close election. Or actually, I shouldn't say that. It's going to go back and forth, where at times, if the election were today, for example, Hillary would win. If it was last week, Donald Trump would have won. You're going to have that yo-yo back and forth. With Bernie, you wouldn't have had that. You just wouldn't have had it. The polls had him in a landslide across the board. In swing states is where he did the best against Donald Trump. You undercut all of Trump's good arguments against Hillary if you had Bernie Sanders as our nominee. Because what's he going to say about Hillary? Crooked Hillary. Crooked Hillary, corrupt, bought by Wall Street, voted for the wars, voted for the trade deals. You can't use that argument against Bernie Sanders. He didn't vote for the wars. He didn't vote for the trade deals. He's not corrupt. So what are you going to say? How are you going to argue against fucking Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump? You can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. So that's why he was landsliding his punk ass. The Democrats said, he's the weaker general election candidate. Are you kidding me? She's the most electable. Now that they need him, oops, the truth comes out. Bernie, please help us in the swing states. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. You know who Bernie Sanders is helping? Russ Feingold. You know why he's helping Russ Feingold? Russ Feingold is an actual progressive. He's an actual liberal. So, you know what Bernie's going to do? He's going to pick the people who are actually liberal and actually progressive, and he's going to go, I'm going to help them. And then the establishment people are going to come to him, and he's going to say, how about you take a long walk off a short pier, bitch? And I'm happy he says that. because establishment Democrats have not earned Bernie Sanders support for these Senate races, because we can try to build from the ground up with the point we're at right now, where he started this program to get new Bernie Sanders into politics, get more people who are political independents or registered Democrats but are actually progressive. He fought for these people to get involved now, and they are getting involved. So those are the people who are going to get our support, because that's what the political revolution is actually about. And now we know the Democratic Party was lying all along. Oh, weak general election candidate / the best general election candidate, which is why we need you in swing states. Please help us,